Good morning. Russia says Pyongyang has sent a positive signal regarding North Korean leader Kim Jong-un's invitation to Moscow in May. Questions regarding South Korean President Park Geun-hye's attendance and a possible encounter arise. U.S. President Barack Obama makes his State of the Union address before a Republican-controlled Congress for the first time. Joey Mercadante takes you to the outdoors of Cheorwon in the Gangwon-do Province and takes a walk on the frozen path. And the trendiest styles for kids. Spring 2015, you gotta get the look to get your kids back to school on Korea Today, Thursday, January 22nd, 2015.
From Arirang News, this is Korea Today.
Hello and welcome. Thank you for joining us on this Thursday morning. I'm Ojin Ju with Kim Min-jung and Kim Young.
All right, happy Thursday. And winter break season is almost coming to an end for many elementary school kids as well as junior high and high school students, and many of them are going to go back to school. But elementary school kids or you toddlers out there, you want to get the right look, right?
Toddlers out there, you need to do some shopping. And we do have some pint-sized models standing by for us. They are ready to rock their looks. So let's connect to them right now and see what they're up to.
They're just adorable.
Right, the up-and-coming models of Korea.
So we have pretty much everything from tops to dresses to pants to shirts, cardigans, and even some backpacks and accessories that's going to help you get that right look for your children this year.
Right, we have to do some shopping for the kids.
Just spending some more money after you spent all that money during Christmas. Okay, we're going to set that aside for now and jump to our top story for this morning. Following reports of North Korean leader Kim Jong-un sending a positive response to Russia's invitation to visit Moscow in May, the question of a possible sideline summit between South and North Korea has re-emerged. On Wednesday, Russian Foreign Minister Sergei Lavrov said that a positive signal has been received from Pyongyang on its invitation to Moscow's May 9th ceremony, marking the 70th anniversary of the then Soviet Union's victory over Nazi Germany in World War II. This comes after Russia's invitation to South Korean President Park Geun-hye to attend the May ceremony. The presidential office of Cheorwon says it is too early to talk about a possible summit as the president's schedule for May has not yet been confirmed. In related news, Seoul's Unification Ministry says North Korea has sent a letter to the South to resume inter-Korean dialogue once its joint military exercises with the United States have been canceled.
Amid the ongoing search for a missing Korean teenager who is believed to have traveled to Syria to join the Islamic State terrorist group, authorities are beefing up measures to block access to cyber recruitment ads from terrorist groups. The Korea Communications Standards Commission said Wednesday it is monitoring and blocking internet posts, especially those on social networking sites that suggest joining a terrorist group or recruiting those who would conspire to carry out acts of terrorism. The measures followed the disappearance of a Korean teenager in Turkey earlier this month who evidence suggests is likely to have joined the IS after crossing the border into Syria. Police held a briefing on Wednesday saying the 18-year-old, identified only by his last name, Kim, had written a message on Facebook saying he wants to start a new life in a new country shortly before leaving for Turkey.
A record high number of newly established firms in Korea was reached last year, according to the Bank of Korea and the Small and Medium Business Administration. Data showed that the percentage of older entrepreneurs are on the rise. The annual gain has continued for the 6th year, but set a new record high with nearly 85,000 new businesses opening in 2014, outpacing the record set in 2013 by some 9,100. Analysts point to the entrepreneurship boom among those reaching retirement and the strengthening of government support measures for startups. The portion of new business owners aged 50 and older accounted for 32.6% in 2013, pointing towards retirement planning. Although the data was not available for last year, those 50 and over opening new businesses has been on the rise since 2008. Meanwhile, the number of firms that went bankrupt last year came in at 841 firms, down from 1,001 companies in 2013.
Good morning. It's time to run through the front pages of your newspapers. Now, the top stories on all of the local dailies this morning is the government's efforts to revise some of the year-end tax settlement codes amid strong public backlash. So we'll go ahead and begin with a look at the top headline on Joseonilbo. And the headline reads, government offers partial tax refunds in May to reduce burden. Now, the ruling party's chief policymaker said in a press briefing following a hastily arranged meeting yesterday that the government and the Saenuri party have agreed to restore and expand certain tax credit categories to make up for the overall increase in the tax burden of many employees across the nation here. If we go ahead and look at some of the details, under Wednesday's agreement, the government plans to raise tax credits for families with children and single households, as well as restore tax credits for new births and adoptions. It also expects tax refunds for taxpayers to take place as early as May after the nation's rival parties discuss ways to revise the tax code to reflect the proposed changes and handle the relevant bill during April's parliamentary session. Now let's move on to Donghwailbo, to this headline here in the center. This is about the Korea-Japan relations that are somewhat shaky at this point. The title says, events commemorating 50th anniversary of normalized Korea-Japan ties being canceled as Abe turns rightist. And the paper says that due to Japanese Prime Minister Shinzo Abe's right-wing stance, many of the cultural events in celebration of the 50th anniversary of bilateral relations are being either canceled or minimized here in Korea. Now, a lot of the local museums are choosing to put aside holding such events because they believe that they are inappropriate considering the current state of affairs and conditions between the two countries. Instead, many of the academic and performance circles say they will focus more on holding events to celebrate the 70th anniversary of Korea's independence and liberation from Japanese colonial rule. And switching gears now to another issue here on 중앙일보. This is a side article about broadcasting stations, and the title reads, Crooked Broadcasting Stations to be Weeded Out. And we are talking about stations that are not doing their job correctly. The Korea Communications Commission says it will introduce a system that allows for the shutdown of broadcasting stations that do not invest properly in their content, or in the case they turn away from considering viewers' welfare. And this means that the commission can immediately revoke the permission of broadcasting stations to be able to broadcast when they are renewing their licenses in case they failed to execute the terms that were imposed on them initially. Now we'll wrap with some business news on the Korea Economic Daily, another side article. This one is about Samsung and Hyundai Motors, and the headline says, public servants to work at Samsung and Hyundai Motors. So it looks like there will be a more active interaction in the workforce between public officials and employees at private conglomerates. Not only is this to allow for more public servants to be able to build experience working at local companies, the expansion also aims to recruit a lot of former private firm employees to senior government posts, and recruitment processes will be simplified for this, and the current regulation of a limited work term of 5 years will be abolished as well. Now that was a look at our local headlines this Thursday, and following are the stock numbers from Wednesday.
Now, with the fluctuating temperatures these days, it's It's not difficult, I suppose, to get a cold and sound like me.
So
I'm the
passed
latest
on over
victim
from
to
my keyboard to her keyboard and then to her, right? Well, you do have to watch out. Now, keep yourself warm at all times and always have that extra gear out there just in case it does get a little bit colder. But we were expecting some rain or snow in the greater capital area, but we didn't get that much of that. And for today's weather, we'll go to Chun Sung-cho.
Good morning to you, Sung-cho.
Good morning.
Good morning, guys. I'm reporting live from Hangang Park. I hope you get better soon, Min-jung. And it didn't rain much here around the greater capital area as we'd expected overnight, but it just ended up being a light drizzle over in southern Gangwon-do Province. The rain clouds have moved east, releasing showers of less than 5 millimeters over the eastern regions and stretching across parts of Gangwon-do, Chungcheongnam-do, and Gyeongsang-Nambuk-do provinces. The wet conditions there are expected to subside mostly before midday. But toward eastern Gangwon-do Province, where temperatures are lower, things are a little bit more hectic. Heavy snow advisories have been issued toward the mountainous areas as people there are expecting up to 15 centimeters of accumulations to hamper their morning commute today. About 5 centimeters have already piled up on the ground in Daegwallyeong and about 13 centimeters in Pyeongchang County. Travel will be a challenge with the treacherous road conditions there. So if you're in these regions and if you have to drive, remember to slow down and pay extra attention to the road. And with that, let's take a closer look at today's temperature readings around the nation. Along with the heavy snowfall, it's ushering in relatively warm temperatures all across the country. Highs will remain above the freezing mark everywhere, rising up to 7 in Seoul and Daegu and 8 degrees Celsius in the southern regions, Busan and Jeju. This is all for me with the weather forecast. Back to the studio, Min-jung.
U.S. President Barack Obama gave his State of the Union address on Wednesday, in which he talked about taxes, terrorism, and diplomacy. Our Eunice Kim will try to break it down for us from the News Center. Good morning to you.
Good morning.
Even ahead of his annual address, there was chatter about his so-called Robin Hood tax plan, in which he would tax the wealthy to pay everyone else.
Yeah, definitely lots of chatter, and what an impossible challenge that would be to get through the now Republican-dominated Congress. But trying to get the middle class to start to feel the benefits of America's economic recovery was high on the mind of President Obama, who now, of course, just has one more State of the Union speech to go before his term is up. Now, he began his speech by confidently declaring that the U.S. was turning the page from an era of terror and recession to one of expanding economic opportunity. He said the country was creating jobs at the fastest pace since 1999 and called on Congress to join him in enacting his so-called middle-class economics policy. Now, what this would entail is closing tax breaks for the wealthy and raising taxes on capital gains to send more funding to education, healthcare, and retirement programs, of course, that would benefit the masses. Now, also stressing his first duty as commander-in-chief, he also asked Congress to pass a resolution to authorize using military force against the Islamic State in Iraq and Syria. Other topics in the hour-long address was eradicating Ebola, normalizing relations with Cuba, free community college education, and also passing new cybersecurity legislation in the wake of the cyber attack on Sony Pictures. On to other news now. It appears a tentative deal has been reached between the president of Yemen and Houthi rebels just hours ago. The Shiite group has agreed to pull back from the presidential palace and residence, as well as other locations, in exchange for more power outlined in a new constitution. Outside the presidential residence, where President Abd Rabbu Mansur Hadi is believed to be, Houthi gunmen replaced presidential guards. Rebels have stopped short of toppling President Hadi, even as they managed checkpoints and streets in near total control of the capital of Sana'a. Yemen's official Saba news agency said President Sadi has agreed to specify Yemen as a federal state. The Arabic country has been riddled with sectarian and ethnic challenges, enabling groups like Al-Qaeda in the Arabian Peninsula to expand their operations. President Hadi took office back in 2012 2012 with the support of Saudi Arabia and the U.S.
In the meantime, in Germany, the leader of the anti-Islamization movement has stepped down after a picture surfaced of him dressed up as Hitler.
Right, and it was a selfie that ended up on the front pages of many German dailies, causing an uproar. One vice chancellor saying anyone in politics who poses as Hitler is either a total idiot or a Nazi. Now, we're talking about Lutz Bachmann. He is the head of the group Patriotic Europeans Against the Islamization of the West, better known by the acronym PEGIDA, and its spokesman tried to play down the photos as a joke. Now, Bachmann did apologize for what he called ill-considered remarks that were also published in the dailies, in which he had called refugees scumbags, among other things. He is being investigated for those comments, and the resignation did come just ahead of a rally attended by several thousand people in Leipzig on Wednesday. Protesters identifying with Pegida's anti-Islamization cause, however, were outnumbered by a counter-demonstration as thousands of police stood nearby.
A controversial figure, Hitler. I mean, you don't want to pose as him if you're in politics.
Oh,
for
yeah.
Sure. All right. Thank you, Eunice, for that.
Sure thing.
Stay with us on Korea Today. If you want to get a healthy dose of fresh air and easy exercise in Cheorwon, the county located along Korea's northern border, there's a special activity waiting for us there at Hantangang River as well, not to mention some great eats as well. You don't want to miss it.
Well, they say seeing is believing, but next up we have an artist who makes you second guess what you're seeing, and our Lee Myun-hee joins us for more on that. Good morning.
Good morning. So Vladimir Kush, he's an artist of surrealism, and he, like the other members from this art movement, they combine a dreamlike world with reality, and the results are absolutely stunning. Take a look in this next report.
A shirt billowing in the wind like a sail, tucked into not a pair of pants, but a building. An unexpected sight that makes you second-guess your eyes and question reality. This is surrealism, a style of art that coerces contradictory ideas and images onto one canvas, resulting in a dream-like reality. Or is it a reality-like dream? Painter-sculptor Vladimir Kush is one of the leading surrealists of the 21st century, recognized for his impeccable ability to bring the unexpected to each of his works.
Vladimir Kush is often considered the Dali of Russia, and Dali is one of the most recognized surrealist artists of all time. However, the difference between the two is that Kush portrays positive images, a brighter side to fairy tales, whereas surrealism traditionally uses dark, shattered images. Kush has a very witty sense about him, so all ages, even children, enjoy the stories that come to life in his work.
And each one of Kush's masterpieces leaves plenty of room for the unseen. He paints a sense of mystery with each brushstroke, like looking into a storybook. But there's something also familiar about each work. Kush believes that the metaphor is not limited to our language, but is something that connects the unconnected in our everyday lives. It's an idea he's coined as metaphorical realism, and it's evident throughout his pieces. But because of this bridge that joins two distant ideas, the canvas also opens up to endless possibilities. It's a story ready to be written, no matter how far-fetched it may be. Korea's up-and-coming poet Kim Kyung-ju gives his take on the whimsical works of Kush in his poem Deer, inspired by the luminous painting behind the trees.
사슴, 난 바닷속에 산다는 바다 사슴을 알아요. 1년에 한 번만 수면으로 올라온다는 바다 사슴. 언젠간 나는 바다 사슴의 등에 올라타고 사라진 엄마를 찾으러 갈 거예요. 엄마는 어느 날 밤 코와 이마에 뿔이 생긴 후 무서워서 깊은 바다로 들어갔대요.
People think surrealism is the opposite of realism, that it's very dramatic, avoids all reality. But Kush disagrees and uses his works of surrealism to illustrate his idea of metaphorical realism. He uses a metaphor to connect seemingly unrelated, opposing ideas or objects. If you look at this painting, it looks very unrealistic, but it contains elements that are all part of our real world.
These walls are lined with windows, looking into distant lands. Lands that may not be as far off as you think. And although every inch of each canvas is covered in surreal images and designs, Kush has created a blank canvas, ready for our wildest imaginations.
So Kush is the world of fantasy. It's on display on exhibition until April 5th at the Seoul Arts Center. So you might want to see that. But I'm sure our viewers are seeing it as well. There's something unexplainably inspirational.
Right, very inspiring about his works. And interestingly, they did a study with some of his artworks, Kush's artworks, compared to some realism artworks. And people responded by saying they felt a lot of hope, they felt a purpose to their life when looking at the surrealist works. And so really other people really feel this very positive feeling with Kush's works.
It is very dreamlike. It's like you're in a dream state watching it. And the ideas to create these pieces, I think it does come from something very special. And speaking of something special, Kush, it's very special for him because, you know, there is a saying that artists actually don't really succeed or make any money until after they pass, right? But actually he's doing very well for himself.
He has been very fortunate and he has enjoyed enormous success as an artist, and he looks to continue to grow even more popular worldwide. He has quite a few galleries, permanent galleries set up, and he actually is stationed in Hawaii, and that's where he works, which is why I think you can see a lot of that inspiration in his beautiful paintings.
Well, he's in the island paradise. I mean, I guess lots of inspiration to pick up there, right? Well, thank you very much.
Always a pleasure.
All right, at the top of the hour, we did tell you a little bit about going back to school in style, and today we are going to look at styles for tots. Kids out there, when they're going back to school, they want to look good just as good as you do when you go back to work. Now, what's trending in children's fashion this spring? Fashionable mothers are already shopping for their children and checking out the trendiest styles of spring 2015. So if it's variety you want, then you're in luck. Stay tuned for what's popular in kids' fashion for 2015 on K-Style.
All right, so there's a new study out on how various climate factors like humidity and temperatures can affect people's moods.
And it turns out that Koreans are most affected by the amount of sunlight they're exposed to, and that includes me. Let's find out more with Misorang. Good morning, Misorang.
Good morning. And the results show, it gives us more reason to drag ourselves outside for that lunchtime walk, which I know neither of us really do. So let's have a look at the study. So the team at Samsung Hospital Psychiatry Unit looked at 550 adults living in Seoul and had them fill out the seasonal pattern assessment questionnaire to see how moods varied over different months of the year. They then analyzed the results of 12 different climate factors such as relative humidity, temperature, air pressure, and so on, and found that of these 12 factors, the amount of sunshine exposure had the single greatest impact on Korean people's moods, with 16% of respondents experiencing symptoms similar to seasonal affective disorder during the winter and summer monsoon months, such as feeling depressed and feeling lethargic.
All right, that's it. We're gonna go take a walk after breakfast today, when the sun's out.
And because we come to work when the sun is down, and other people who have that sort of time schedule, you have to actively schedule out a time to bathe in the sunlight. And a rare 19th century map of the famous naval base down in Tongyeong is up for sale for $15,000 US. The map is this. It's estimated to date back between 1827 to 1850 and covers the old naval base over here, which was originally established by Admiral Lee Sun-shin during the late 16th century. And you can also see the surrounding seas and islands. Now, of note, you can see Hansan-do Island over here, famous for the Battle of Hansan-do, where Lee Sun-shin famously unveiled his legendary crane formation naval attack. The map measures 60 by 90 centimeters and it's on sale at geographicus.com, which is a US private online site that specializes in rare antique maps. And wrapping up, here's a video that's getting a lot of attention online. It's dubbed The Parting of the Steel Sea in Pohang. So let's have a look. Now, earlier this month in January, a local Pohang fire truck was dispatched in response to a freight truck that caught on fire in the middle of the highway. Now, it wasn't rush hour, it was a bit before then, but there still was a lot of traffic on the road, which could have delayed precious seconds and minutes. As you can see though, as soon as the drivers heard the siren, they swiftly made way for the truck and the firefighters were able to arrive swiftly on time.
I love the black box images of, how you can get that view from the car now.
It's always cathartic how everyone's moving.
All right, thank you, Ms. Warang, for that.
You're welcome.
And a good Thursday morning to you all as we kick things off with the 2018 Pyeongchang Winter Games, as the organizing committee got the good news that the Korean government is willing to fully back the committee. Now, with the organizing committee lacking the proper funding to fully prepare for the 2018 Winter Games, the Korean government has stepped up to help them financially. An unnamed government official stated that the 2018 Pyeongchang Winter Games will be funded like the 1988 Seoul Summer Games, adding that the organizing committee chief Cho Young-ho will be giving more power to run the committee. Now, obviously good news for the organizing committee with roughly 3 years to go until the 2018 Winter Games in Pyeongchang. 3 goals, 3 wins, and now the Korean national football team is hoping to make it win number 4 during the 2015 Asian Cup, as they're set to face off against Uzbekistan later today during the quarterfinals. Now, with the 69th ranked Korea set to face off against the 71st ranked Uzbekistan, Korea does have a better record at 8 wins, 2 draws, and only 1 loss in the 11 times that they face each other. But Uzbekistan looks pretty confident going into the quarterfinals despite finishing second in Group B. At a press conference on Wednesday, Korea's Son Heung-min made it clear once again that they're here to win the title, as manager Uli Stilicke is set to start him in this match. Now, the new year is over 3 weeks old, yet there are awards still being given out for the 2014 season, just like the International Shooting Sport Federation's Player of the Year honors, which was given to Korea's Jin Jong-ho. Now, the 36-year-old who missed out on another individual gold during the 2014 Asian Games in Incheon still had an incredible 2014 season, including 2 gold medals during the 2014 World Championships. He also broke a 34-year-old world record in the 50-meter event and found himself at the top of the world rankings in both the 50-meter and the 10-meter category. Now, meanwhile, he's set to prepare for the 2016 Rio Summer Games starting next month at the Jincheon Athletes Village. Now, the KBL has done a lot in trying to improve the league, and starting this year, they added the KBL D-League, or the Developmental League. And with that, the first champion of the D-League was crowned on Wednesday. And no surprise here, the powerhouses when it comes to amateur league, Sangmu, the military team, dominated the Orions in the best-of-3 series 82-57 to claim the first D-League championship. Despite the Orions changing up the lineup in Game 2, Sangmu took control early with a barrage of threes and closed it off by out-rebounding them in the second half of the game. And that's going to wrap it up for me. This has been SJ. Have a great rest of the day and see you guys again for your sports needs.
상쾌한 바람이 부는 아침에 한껏 여유 부릴 때 유난히 안색이 좋아 멀리 봐도 다 잘 어울리고 다 예뻐 보일 때 좋아하는 노래 들으며 걸어갈 때 시간 맞춰 버스를 탈 때 유난히 사람이
You know, I know it's cold during winter, but you don't want to stay cooped up indoors all the time. You have to go out to have some more fun during the winter.
Well, we heard Mi So-rang in her report talking about how Koreans were not getting enough sun, especially during the colder months. So we actually took a trip, well, Joey took a trip and put his own little Mercadante twist into the frozen path. Good morning, Joey.
Good morning. Yes, today we're headed to one of the coldest places in Korea, Cheorwon in the Gangwon-do Province. More specifically, we're headed to the Hantangang River, which is a great place for winter trekking, especially because they offer something called the Ice Canyon trekking experience. So I want you to imagine trekking through a canyon on a frozen river of ice. Sounds pretty amazing, right?
Yeah.
So I'll take you there right now. Cheorwon is a county located in the far north boundary of Gangwon-do Province. It's one of Korea's signature security tour locations, but it's also well known for its natural scenery, which includes the sites along the Hantangang River. This river flows in a deep ravine which was formed by molten lava from a volcanic eruption over 300,000 years ago. The Hantangang River is very famous thanks to the rafting experiences available. But in the wintertime, thanks to ice trekking, visitors are offered the experience of a lifetime and get to see the river from a whole nother perspective. Come with me today as we check out the Hantangang River and the ice trekking adventure. When the winter hits, visitors flock to Hantangang River for a very special opportunity, the chance to participate in the ice trekking program, Cheorwon's #1 winter activity.
It's nice to be walking on the river instead of just seeing it from atop the ravine cliffs, and I'm excited to see the columnar joints.
I'm worried a little that the ice might break, but it still looks fun.
For only several weeks, winter temperatures are cold enough to freeze the river. And that's when the ice trekking begins. Luckily for trekking participants, the course is about 5.5 kilometers long this year, which is 2 kilometers longer than last year's.
Depending on the freezing of the river, right?
That's correct, yes. The course takes you along Hantangang River and to major sites such as this one, Seoul. Seoul is one of Korea's famous 추상절리 attractions, referring to the tall, pillar-shaped joints formed along the sides of the cliff. This is basalt, and it's formed from magma from under the earth coming out, and the texture is really interesting, and it makes for this beautiful place to take a picture. It's an amazing feeling to walk on the river. You can hear it moving beneath you. Oh, it's really cold. Yeah, Cheorwon gets pretty cold in the winter, but the trekkers really didn't seem to notice it at all.
안 추워요?
안 추워요. 더워요 지금. 즐거워요.
It's wonderful to be able to touch the river. Before, I only got to look at it from above.
Now, another must-see here is the Seungil-gyo Bridge. It's a historical landmark built by both the South and the North, as construction began before the Korean War and finished years after. The Seungil-gyo Bridge is of particular importance because it was built pre- and post-war, and now it symbolizes the separation between the North and the South. The icy landscape was beautiful, and we stopped here for a moment to enjoy some of the activities set up here. Ice trekking participants tried out the fun Ice Olympics and traditional games. Now, the most popular activity was the dog sled ride. Everyone, including myself, loved the ride on the 6-dog-pulled sled. We raced smoothly across the ice, and it was a thrilling experience.
Aren't you looking into getting a dog, maybe one of those?
No.
No, a little too big. They're gorgeous.
Will you up the hills in your neighborhood?
Thank you. 고생했어. You did a good job. Thank you very much. Have a good day, okay?
He's not happy.
It's like, leave me alone. The ice trekking course was slowly coming to its end as we reached our last stop, Kosokjong Pavilion. The pavilion was built atop this breathtaking 20-meter-high rock formation that juts out in the middle of the Hantangang River. And this is a spot that even the royals used to enjoy back in the day. It's easy to see why. It's breathtaking. What a great way to end my ice trekking adventure with an overview of the frozen river. I had a peaceful time, I had an exhilarating time, I had a very fun time. What about you? Did you enjoy it? Now after a walk like that, well, it's time to refuel with the regional specialty of Cheorwon. And it's best known for makguksu.
Makguksu.
Oh, you know,
yes.
So in the mood for that.
Makguksu is a buckwheat noodle dish with over 50 years under its belt. This particular restaurant is the oldest makguksu place in Cheorwon. And it's famous
that gets your appetite going.
No.
It's savory and the broth is delicious. It's really quite refreshing.
이 식당 얼마나 됐어요?
아, 저희요? 굉장히 오래됐어요. 50년이 넘었어요.
50년이요?
예, 예. 어머니가 입원하실 때부터 시작하셨다 그래요.
The makguksu noodles are made with newly harvested buckwheat that is finely ground. The noodles are prone to getting soggy very quickly, which means that with each order, a new batch of noodles are made for the dish on the spot.
You want to have it when the noodles actually have that perfect texture.
Makguksu is supposed to be eaten in winter because the buckwheat noodles taste best in the winter after being harvested in the fall.
맛있는 막국수 나왔습니다.
Now I got my order and finally tasted the Cheorwon makguksu. I got one regular makguksu and one with soup. Now the soup is made by deeply brewing ingredients for 3 days and it tasted like heaven. This is great. The 물 makguksu or the bibimbap makguksu. I personally like the drier one, bibimbap makguksu. Sweet and delicious, just like me.
Just like you.
So I don't know what I meant by that. Well, I didn't stop at just the makguksu. I ordered another signature dish, a Gangwon-do Province dish, dumplings made with buckwheat and filled with pheasant.
Gwang, as they're known in
Yes.
Korean.
The regional dishes were the perfect way to wrap up my trip.
Such good food. I'll always remember my day today, ice trekking on the river, and my time on the sled with the dogs. A perfect winter adventure that you can have too if you come down to Cheorwon in Gangwon-do. Come and enjoy the fun.
Meet some furry friends there, huh?
I did.
Yeah,
I wish I could take him home, actually.
Well, you can buy a little small puppy and then raise one, right? But you mentioned that this year the path is actually a little bit longer.
That's
and they make sure that it is safe for everyone to walk on, right? So what was the favorite part about the whole trip there?
For me, I'd have to say just the winter scenery in general. It's beautiful out there. And especially because Seoul, you know, we haven't had too much snow accumulate anyways, the pretty kind. And I like the fact that each course had its own little stories behind it and history. And of course, last but not least, I love the dog sleds.
That looked like a lot of fun.
You know, it's a lot, for those who've never tried it, it's a lot faster than you would imagine, and it's quite exhilarating. And I saw it in movies, and I always wanted to do it, and I was really happy that I got to do it.
Did it have a weight limit on it?
It's for children.
Okay.
I was like the one exception. They let me go on it.
So
but,
maybe it went slower than it was
no, they
dogs.
Well, I don't know. I'm not that heavy.
So when's the best time for this ice trekking? You did briefly mention in your report, but any tips?
Okay, so I mean, timing is the most important thing because you basically have from mid-January to early February. That's when the river has frozen over, solid enough for you to walk on it safely, which basically is a 20-day window, and it's safe. The river is outlined with small flags that keep you on the course, so you don't need to worry about getting lost. And I would say that the course in general is an intermediate course, not too rough, something you could definitely do with your family, and something that I would recommend to do with your family. You just got to be careful, you know, as it gets warmer because the ice starts to melt.
Right, and Cheorwon is located right along the northern border in Gangwon-do Province, right next to the DMZ bordering North Korea, and so Cheorwon County is known for its security tour program as well.
Yes, security tour and also
bird watching.
Aha, that's right.
So I had mentioned earlier that Cheorwon is very cold, but it actually has some warm pockets. A place called the Cheorwon Plains, which is actually warm because of the warm natural springs there. So you can take a security tour, which is actually incorporates the bird watching tour as well, and you go to the Cheorwon Peace Observatory and around to the bird habitats. You get to feed the birds, you do some bird watching, and if you're interested in that, please just check out the website for more information.
Right, sounds great. And if you get too cold, then you could go to that warm pocket, right?
That's right.
About 5-10 minutes or so.
I didn't get a chance to go there. I wish we had went there.
All right. Thank you very much, Joey.
You're very welcome.
Kids' fashion has never been more stylish. Every year, children's wear gets more diverse and more trendy, rivaling the fashion industry for adults. At a studio in Seoul, the set was busy with young children. They were the models for a 2015 kids' fashion catalog featuring an it look for the spring, the so-called French look. The style focuses on a natural, minimalist look that's given a dose of adorable with bright colors or patterns.
Because it's a natural concept, we use a lot of natural fabric. For example, the clothing is mostly made of cotton and linen instead of any synthetic fibers.
Another spring fashion trend could be seen at this designer's workshop. The inspiration for designers here? Styles that were hit in the fashion industry for adults. This kids' adult fashion is becoming more popular for parents that want to coordinate wardrobes with their little ones.
The kids' adult look refers to a children's style that takes after current adult fashion. It is becoming very trendy these days.
These days, the domestic labels in kids' fashion seem to be the top choice. The domestic industry, at a bit over 40 years old, boasts quality materials, stitchwork, and design. It's giving foreign brands a run for their money, and already a huge hit in the Asian market. This Eland Kidsdom store provides shoppers with a collection of 6 different Korean brands, not just clothing, but accessories as well. With new school year coming up, backpacks are also popular items. Their spring collection includes princess styles and character items, as well as sporty styles that offer functionality. Moms leaned towards more versatile, stylish items. Kids wanted character prints and princesses. No wonder the princess styles were more colorful and lacy than ever.
There are many princess styles here which little girls love. My daughter loves that little princess style, so we come here a lot.
Of the various character prints, the best sellers at this kids store were items with the Coco Rita character, such as these hats and these school bags with interchangeable fronts. We've got more kids fashion that's in style for this spring season in the studio, so stay tuned.
You know, kids' fashion moves just as fast as the adults' fashion industry, and people are already checking out what's hot for the spring season, and we have the new school year ahead as well. So Panita Bajaj joins us to tell us all about kids' fashion today.
Well, I can't agree with you more. I feel like nowadays when I walk by children's stores, I have to walk in. I don't even have kids, but I'm looking because they're so adorable. And as you can see on our set, we have so many looks available for our children, for our daughters, sons, nieces, and nephews. And there are so many different types, starting with our princess look as we saw in the video. I think a lot of girls go for the living in a castle look.
Oh, girls just love princess. I mean, everything princess. Princess Elsa, Princess, you know, Anna.
That's right.
Anything princess they love, right? Let's start with the princess look.
Right, okay, so we have 3 little dresses here, as we can see. Ooh. Yeah, very Very lacy,
pink.
very pink, a lot of tulle. And I think the point of this is this A-line. It has a lot of poof. So I think this really grabs the attention of our little girls. Of course, there's bedazzle. We have necklaces, shoes to go with this from head to toe, from headbands to bracelets and a lot of accessories. And right from the spot, you can tell that our girls are going to love them, but our mothers, not so much.
Yeah. I mean, kids love this type of look, but mothers go for something more toned down, something more neutral, a little more sophisticated, I suppose.
Right, because these could be quite high maintenance. I mean, they are gorgeous, but I think mothers tend to go more for these neutral tones. Very, I guess, French look, as what you can call them.
Look, you know, Korea's kids' fashion industry has come such a long way. You know, when I was growing up, all you could find was something red, something yellow, something blue. But now everything in between, right? All the colors and different styles. Look at this very subtle blue. I love.
Right, and the main thing, the very good point about this is it's called the air attitude, meaning the fabric is made of organic cotton and such like that. So it's very healthy for our children as well, and it's just so flowy. You know, very light, easy maintenance. You can put them in the washer, and it's good for mixing and matching. You know,
wrinkle-free too. It looks like,
or even if you wrinkle it, it could look better wrinkled.
Right, part of the fashion, right?
That's right. It's so nice.
And layer it with maybe a pair of leggings and a cardigan. And she's going to look like she just walked out of a fashion magazine. You know?
I can definitely agree with you with that. And of course, in our back, we have preppy look. It's the thing that our mothers want most for our children. And we do have models today.
Right. Well, why don't we bring them in and see if they can rock this look?
We can see three different types of looks. These are for our young girls. But we have a couple coming up on stage.
She's about to cry. That's so adorable. I love what they're wearing also. This kind of looks like a uniform, a school uniform.
That's right. Okay, if you turn around, we can
turn around a little bit.
Look at the camera, and we can see their outfits. The check, the very plaid look. I tried to match myself with it also. I don't know if you can tell. But this is actually the point of the preppy school look, the uniform style. A lot of mothers really look forward to. And they have a little triangle here to match as well. It's really great for the girls because the length of the skirt is really nice above the knee.
Make him laugh,
what you're wearing? Do you like this clothes? Yes. Can we show her the princess dress?
Sure.
So which one she likes more?
She's gonna go for that one.
Which one do you like more, this or this?
Oh, of course.
That's
right.
So typical.
Of course, this is really nice for the winter season as well. They come in raincoats and trench coats as well. And some people might think it may be a little bit too stern or whatnot, but you could dress it down with some sweaters or jeans or a casual dress for the little girls.
The whole family could dress up in these.
Right? Don't we look like a family? These are my children.
Mothers.
That's right. They're so adorable.
And and some new accessories that are out in the market as well.
Since the new school year is also coming up, a lot of backpacks are coming in as well. And for the princess look, we also have matching very pink backpacks. I am pretty sure a lot of little girls will like this as well. Do you like this too?
Oh, so cute.
Yes.
You want to try it on?
Hey, let's ask him what he likes too.
What do you like? Okay, let's see. These backpacks. They're cartoon character backpacks. Which one do you like better? The yellow?
Wolverine or Captain America?
Captain America.
Or maybe he likes Kokomong. This is a Korean character, right?
Ooh, that's right.
That one. You like Kokomong?
So which one? Kokomong or Captain America?
Captain America.
Captain America. Chris
Did you know
Evans all the way.
actually a sausage? I mean,
really?
It's a sausage.
He's a sausage.
Yeah, he's a sausage.
They're very cute. And we also have these neoprene as well. If you take a look at them, they kind of look like scuba suits. And I've actually been in the water with these dresses, and they're really nice. They're really comfortable, and they're wrinkle-free also.
We talked about neoprene being the hottest new material. And I guess it's available in kids' clothing as well.
Right. So if they're really trendy for, I guess, adults, they're going to be really fashionable for our kids too. And you can find these things anywhere nowadays. They have sales up to 80%. So
especially the Lunar New Year is coming up as well, so they could have great gifts.
Oh, you could take them out and let them do some shopping. They're gonna end up with all things pink, the girls, of course,
pink
and maybe something blue for the boys, right? All right, guys, come on over. Maybe Young, you could have better luck with the kids, making kids laugh.
Or make them laugh.
What's up?
I don't think you're getting any. All right, well, that just about does it. Thank you so much, Punita, for that.
Thank you.
That does it for this edition of Korea Today.
All right, and we'll see you back here tomorrow morning at 7 a.m. It's a Friday, so smile, guys.
It's Smile Day. Thank you for watching. Bye.